If I was an evil politician, would I want to be known as anti-women to the nation? No, but Indian politicians. And I don't know how many of you watched Modi ji's speech yesterday. I heard bits and pieces of it. To say it's embarrassing would be an understatement, so I'm not going to say anything. But thank you, Modi ji, for getting me out of the slum and giving me a topic to research on. So I got the lore behind the why. So let's go deep dive into this. Actually, I would like to keep this as simple as possible so that you understand this easily, because I don't want to go deep onto the constitutional jargon of this. And if you want to know more about this, I'll suggest you to read the articles, amendments and policies of this, and news articles and government websites, and there are NGO websites too, because I can't fit all of that in this time crunch, and there are chances of me getting misinterpreted, and I don't want that. The reservation bill is tied to delimitation, which is why it got rejected yesterday. I'll explain delimitation in few moments, but now let us discuss the popular opinion circulating around us. That BJP knows they won't win, and they deliberately set this trap for the opposition to be in this tricky position, where they projected themselves as anti-women. And contrary to the popular opinion, I believe there is more to it. So the delimitation process is allocation of seats after every census so that it reflects the changes in population. That is, redrawing the boundaries of parliament and legislative assembly constituencies, periodically readjusting based on the census. అంటే ఒకప్పుడు మన జనాభా 70 crores ఉండేది. సో దానికి తగ్గట్టు there were 543 representatives. But now we are close to 150 crores. We need more representatives, more number of seats, which is what those articles state. But the problem here is it was frozen. It was frozen in 2001 and 2003 Amendment Acts that the seats were allocated based on 1971 census. That is 543 seats. And it will only be changed until 2026 census. I don't know why 2026, but the freezing based on 1971 census was to give a breather to the states. That is, the states can go focus on population control and family planning rather than fixating on increasing and decreasing of their representatives in parliament. About women reservation bill, this is the same reservation bill that was already passed in 2023 with the same delimitation process tied to it. So what changed? What's the issue now? Well, BJP tweaked it a little yesterday. It changed based on 2026 census to 2011 census. And this changes a lot. Apparently, BJP did it to fast-track the process and implement it before 2029 elections. The opposition raised questions that by making it based on 2011 census, 2011 population, you are giving the shorter side of the stick to the south, northeast, and basically every other state which maintained population control. The lesser the population, the lesser the representatives. The Tamil Nadu is losing its 9 seats and AP 5 seats, and we all know northeast, it's already less population. They'll be affected so bad. And also the concerns were raised that the states which have no population control, no family planning, with zero effort are getting their representatives increased. UP, Bihar, Maharashtra and all the states where BJP has its domination have large populations, and this cannot be brushed off as conspiracy theory, because wild theories get turned into reality real quick under authoritarian governments. Are we ready for that? Can we take that chance? But here's the issue. Amit Shah told that he'll increase the seats by 50%. For example, there are 100 parliamentary seats, and by increasing 50%, it's 150 seats, and women reservation being 33%, the men will have their 100 seats to themselves. And no, the opposition did not agree to that proposal. Remember this point. So this will be unfair, and I must have painted an anti-BJP picture in all of your heads. But let me break this further. The delimitation process is going to happen eventually. Today or tomorrow doesn't matter. The opposition just postponed the inevitable. Based on 2011 census or 2026. What's the problem with 2011 census? Either the then government, which was yours, ironically enough, did some scam in that census, or you're planning to do so in 2026. Because I don't see any logical reasoning behind this opposition based on 2011 census. If delimitation is going to happen based on 2011 census or 2026 census, I don't think there has been any massive population increase in South states or Northeast states in 2026 that wasn't there in 2011. Remember when I said that Amit Shah promised he'll increase the seats by 50%? It's constitutionally impossible. Article 81 prevents that. Government must allot seats based on population ratio and state constituencies. But let's imagine for once, if it happens, the South is going to have an upper hand over the North, because the South stabilized in the population and North boomed over the years. I'll give you a scenario. I read this in an article. If we go by 50% model, an MP from Kerala might represent 10 lakh people and an MP from UP might represent 16 lakh people. Here, the ratio fails. See, the South is getting more seats compared to North, but Congress denied the proposal. Who do you think is doing politics here? If we take any one party's name, I'll say you're brainwashed, because both of them fooled us. If they wanted it to happen, why did they not include the 50% in the bill? Why did they not draft it before making the proposal? And why did Congress not agree to it? The Sarkar and opposition, both of them are playing power politics with us. They want nothing to happen. I cannot blame opposition because I'll be called andhbhakt. Ayo. And if I say anything to the Sarkar, it gets treated automatically as opposition's approval. The states with lesser population will get the shorter side of the stick. We can't change anything because the problem is in the policy, not the governments. And maybe the governments who made the policy. I don't know. You decide that. But the problem here, the women reservation bill getting rejected. They don't want it to happen. They're anti-women. You know why? Because they could have done it if they wanted. They could have passed it without tying it to delimitation process now and back then in 2023. They did not. They tied women reservation bill with 2 more bills so that the probability of its success decreases. For it to directly pass, 33% of 543 seats of men have to be sacrificed. No MP wants to lose their seats. No government wants to do that. No one cares about women. Nari Shakti. Sab naam mein hai bhai. Kisi ko padi nahi nari ki. No one wants to give up their seats for women, neither the government nor the opposition. No one cares about us, and I'm thankful that this bill got rejected. Because these reservations brought us nothing other than misery. एक तो कुछ होता नहीं इन रिजर्वेशन से, और ऊपर से बदनामी कि सब औरतों ने छीन लिया मर्दों से. And these reservations only bring out strange nepo products majorly. That is, puppeteer women into the positions. The wives, the daughters, and the ones who don't care about politics, who don't care about their constituencies. So, I don't think it was a loss for us women per se, but a reality check to us that no government gives a fuck about us.